Hey everybody, we're at Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. Logan went and got a novelty soda for us to try. So we're gonna have some, see what it's like before I go up. Oh, okay. Went with red. That's
Okay. Ooh, oh, this blood. This blood. This was either blood or kidneys.
or kidneys.
This thing.
Oh wait, no, this does stink.
Bro, my ears ring.
Okay, you alright?
Make some noise for Josh Johnson!
I didn't know that we just wouldn't care anymore. I thought it's weird sometimes, as much news as I read and I watch, that sometimes there's a thing that you think just in your head. Maybe it's because of what matters to you. You're like, oh, this is going to be huge. You'll see a thing, whatever it is, and you'll be like, this is the thing that's going to wake people up or freak people out, or no one's going to be able to stop talking about it, right? Different for all of us. But then, I don't know if this is a universal experience, but I think it is. Eventually, you get disappointed. You realize, like, oh, wow, this isn't as big of a story as it should be. People don't care as much as they should. Like, everyone's moved on, even though the thing isn't resolved. That's wild. And I didn't know that we would just stop caring about the drones that are flying over Jersey. Like, that seems like a big deal, and we just sort of let it go. Right? They still up there. Like, I guess they don't need batteries because they are still. It's wild. There are drones that were flying over Jersey, and they're loud. They're very high up, but they are so loud that people compare them to helicopters. And they've been flying over Jersey for a while now. And, we all kind of thought, okay, they'll tell us what that is eventually. Someone will know. Someone has to know. Because at first people thought it was kids. And then when they said that the drones were like 6 feet wide, they were like, maybe they're rich kids. Maybe it's like... And then people... and then people start coming up with theories because it was so loud, it was so disruptive, it's over like residential areas, it was so random and everything that people asked the government. The government came out and they were like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The government has never said don't worry about it. Y'all, the government said, don't worry about it in American history. The government, I would honestly tell you to watch at least like one White House press conference, one like hour of C-SPAN. The most asinine, insane, minute questions get asked of the press secretary. And I'm not saying they always have a legitimate answer, but they always at least try to answer the thing in some capacity, no matter how dumb it is. They never say, don't worry about it. That's never been the tact that the U.S. government has taken. Don't worry about it. We shot a balloon immediately. Remember that balloon that we couldn't tell because none of the pictures looked clear enough if it was a child's balloon or if it was actually a spy balloon? But we shot it, I think, with a missile and said, that was a spy. That looked like China. We've still never fully confirmed that, by the way. No one has come out. China hasn't been like, we did send that balloon. That's our bad. We were feeling festive. We were playing. It's never happened. That is crazy. Don't worry about it. There are brown people just alive in other places and the government's worried about it. Like that, don't worry about it. That's crazy. So then people started to come up with their own theories, people started to be like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a foreign entity. I think it's a foreign entity doing reconnaissance. They're spying on us. It could be China, could be anybody. They're using these drones to spy on us. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe China sent a drone as loud as a helicopter with lights on it to spy on Tony's house. Like maybe there is a foreign government that has the money and the resources to send so many. It's like a bunch of them, so many drones over that can just stay up in the air forever and can evade when people try to like shoot them down and everything. Maybe a government has all the money and technology to do that, but they don't have Google Earth. Maybe. And some people think that's very dumb. Some people think, oh, what an idiot. Who would think that? But you know what it's not dumber than? Don't worry about it. That's the dumbest thing a person could say. I want to make sure we all understand it. Don't worry about it. Y'all, I am so scared the government is out of money. Don't worry about it is the most broke parent thing to say. Yo, don't worry about it. When I was a kid, my dad drove, I think it was a 92 Corsica. And if you don't know what a Corsica is, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. But he drove this 92 Corsica, and the Corsica had a hole in the back on the floor. There was a hole. And one day I just went ahead and said something. I was like, hey, Dad, I know that you drive and I'm back here, so you up there a lot and I'm back here a lot, so you probably didn't know what was... I'm just letting you know what's going on back here because you always up there and I'm always back here. But there is a me-size hole in the floor of the car. So just in case you ever pick me up and then you don't see me and you're like, I swear I just picked him up. Where is he? I probably went through the hole that's in the back of the car because there's a hole. I see the road and we are going fast. Like there's a lot. I thought we were going fast when I looked out the window. When you look through the hole, we're going light speed. Okay? So what are we going to do about the me-sized hole in the back? And he was like, don't worry about it. And I was like, that's because we don't have resources. Okay. I had a babysitter one time that was making me some dinner, and I don't know. I'm assuming that the babysitter could only cook what we had in the pantry, and I don't know what the ingredients were, but then when I was served the dish. You ever had something where you're like, should this be on a plate or in a bowl? Because it has enough girth to stand on its own. But it's soupy enough to need some collection, to need some guidance as a dish on where to be, And so I asked my babysitter, I was like, what is this? And she was like, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay. This is a broke meal. That's what's been cooked for me right now, is something that only happens when you have ingredients that cost 23 cents and you put them all together to make a full $2.25 meal. The only thing that you did to cook it was add heat, but you didn't cook. It's all hot. Broke ingredients together on a plate that should be a bowl. Because there's a lot of water running off the side. But don't worry about it, all right? Okay. No. I remember one time my shoulder was popping a lot. It was like just and like I was like kind of a gangly kid to begin with. So like I don't know what I did, but it was just popping all the time. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, my shoulder is can you hear it? It's popping a lot. It's like popcorn. It's like it's going a lot. Like, does this ever happen to you?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Should we go to like a doctor or something? Because like I just want to know, is it bad? It doesn't hurt, but it is popping a lot. It's moving. It doesn't want to be my shoulder anymore. Like it's moving all up in there while being kind of still, but like it's not pop. It doesn't hurt, but it's a lot of movement." And my dad was like, "Don't worry about it." And to this day, my shoulder pops quite a bit. So when the government tells you don't worry about it, it makes you worry about that specific thing. There are some people that think it's aliens. They think that is aliens that are trying to make contact and bolder than ever letting us know that they're here, that they're visiting. And okay. I don't think it's aliens because I just don't know if aliens I'm really not being disparaging when I say this. I'm just being honest. If you cross dimensions, I don't know if Jersey would be the first stop. And that's... And I know people from Jersey, and they will tell you if I cross dimensions, I'm probably hitting up, Cairo. I mean, I'm hitting up someplace that's a bit more exotic, But mostly I just hope it's not aliens. I hope that it's not aliens because we as humans, this isn't the time to visit us. Like do you know what I mean? Like we're not putting our best foot forward as humanity to get visitors right now. Do you know what I mean? Like aliens coming to see us now would be the equivalent of me coming to see you at 4 a.m. It's like you're just not at your best. You like kind of have morning breath, but kind of not. Like it's bad. No, I don't think aliens would. If aliens are gonna come, they should have done it either 30 years ago or 100 years from now. I think that humanity is not. We're not good for visiting right now. You know what I mean? Like it mainly because we're the only species. Every other species of everything on the planet, every other species of animal is doing their best to evolve. They're trying to go in the direction that forwards the species that, do you know what I mean? That they will still be around, hopefully. In spite of us, by the way. They're doing everything that they can to still be. Frogs! Frogs have the sense. There will be a frog off by itself doing something weird that the other frogs are like, don't go over there. Don't, like, that's not gonna help. That's not helpful at all. And the frog will be doing something like jumping upside down or whatever, like just bouncing upside down over and over again. And the other frogs are like, don't mess with that. Because they know it doesn't help. They don't look at that frog and go, he just asking questions. Like, You know what I mean? Like he a free thinker. That's what that is. That's why he jumping upside down. Why y'all all jumping right side up like some sheep frogs? Why don't you start bouncing upside down for no reason? See if that doesn't do something to your mind. No. They're like, that's not gonna be helpful. And let's all just kind of get that out of the gene pool as best as possible. No, we're not serious at all. It's painful. Genuine. And I'm not just talking about like Americans, by the way. Like we're so self-referential sometimes that it's like any critique of humanity sometimes sounds like I'm just critiquing the. I'm talking about people, all of us, planet Earth. All of us. We're not doing the things that would take to make a better world for us. You know, everywhere you go, it's happening. I don't know if you was seen it. It was in Peru. In Peru, there was a drug bust. There was a drug bust where the national police raided this drug house, and who knows if it was like a crack house or a drug warehouse or a kingpin's lair or whatever, but it's where the drugs were. And the head cop, top cop that's leading the charge, leading the raid, led the raid dressed as the Grinch. That's unfair to everybody in this situation, all right? That's not right. Imagine, you in there. You deal drugs, you cook drugs, whatever, but you putting the drugs in a little baggie. And then you hear a boom, boom. Somebody has knocked down your door. And you look up. And it's the Grinch. And you think to yourself, actually, you know what? Actually, I do have a sinus infection. No, I do have a sinus infection. I have a sinus infection, and I've been blowing my nose all day, and I've been, like, taking the Mucinex and everything, but, like, I have a sinus infection, and then, you know, my nose has been a little runny, too, and then when it's runny, you don't want to gross out your coworkers and everything, and so you do a little, and I must have what we making, because that's the only way that it makes sense that the Grinch and the police are here together at the same time. I must have accidentally did what we doing in here to be seeing the Grinch and the police at the same time. Because he didn't just run up in there as the Grinch. This dude, he had the battering ram. And then he goes in. After they break down the door, he goes in and then dropped the battering ram too. Unarmed, just came in character like the great. This man came in high knees, just. This man came in high kneeing like the Grinch. That's unfair to the police officers doing the raid, because imagine you about to raid this house, right? And you don't know what could be in there. If they got drugs in there, they might got money in there. And if they have money in there, then they probably got some weapons in there to protect that money, protect those drugs from other gang members or just from the police, right? So you are about to risk your life going in. You fit it up. You have the AR-15 and everything. You getting ready to go. But then ahead of you, your leader is going in dressed like the Grinch. And then he battered the door down and run in. You got to run after him and make sure not to accidentally shoot him while he over here high-kneeing in front of everybody, moving all crazy. Because they did everything like you would normally see in a raid, like get on the ground, everything. But then the Grinch. Sometimes people try to get in character, and I don't think they understand the character because I need to listen to it again, admittedly, but I swear he was making noises that the Grinch doesn't make. So then they were like, get on the ground, get on the, and then he was like, it's like that's not in there though. That's not in the movie. That's not in the book. What is that? That's not, you're not even speaking Spanish or anything. Just, it's like, in what work? Because you can tell, even as they getting arrested, they're like, but is he with y'all? Like, no, I'm getting on the ground. I'm asking though. Like, he's just moving all weird in here. Like, what is that? I'm getting on the ground. I'm just saying. You know, you see a country like Peru. I don't know the drug laws. I don't know the sentences that crimes like that carry, but I can tell you honestly right now that they subjected those people to cruel and unusual punishment because they caught them, right? And then I think the three main ones, they made them take their mug shot with the Grinch. And it's like, what other reason could there be other than to ruin a person's life? To completely diminish all street credibility than to make them take a mug shot with the grit. They over here, and I'm sure they didn't answer any questions because if you can Google this, look at the picture later. You see them in the picture being like, like, why he over here? Like the police never take a picture with us. It's three of them lined up holding. And then the Grinch over here taking poses. Looking all proud. Because it seems very dangerous to like go in there, batter and ram, and run up in there as the Grinch, but maybe it's not. Maybe he knew that if you run up in there as the Grinch, people so confused that they don't fire right away. They literally like. You see the Grinch, right? No, we're not a serious people. Not at all. No? It's okay. I've been very excited to come back to Portland because I came here in February for some shows, and normally when you do comedy, you go places like once a year because usually when you go somewhere, the place you went to is like, that's enough. We get it. We get what you do. Give us some time. But I was able to come back, so soon, and I love being here. I love doing shows here and everything. I love coming to Portland because y'all y'all don't wait. You know, you hit people at Portland as soon as they land. Like, it's like... I landed in Portland, and my Uber driver to a hotel told me everything. It's the whole backstory. Like, it was a lot. Okay, so top, right? So he basically was in a relationship, then married, and is now divorced from, apparently, the devil. And so then... So him and Satan, they still share a child, a cat, and a timeshare. And sharing all these three things with Lucifer has really made it difficult. It's made his life very hard. And I was listening to all of the woes of each thing, like the child, the cat, the timeshare. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if I'm being honest, you only really gotta love like two of those. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the timeshare. The whole point of a timeshare is that sometimes you're there and sometimes you're not. So like, just be there when the devil's not there, and then let the devil have it sometimes, because that was always what was gonna happen. The cat, look, I know you love the cat, and the cat loves you, and Satan's in the way. But I promise you, if you get a cat that look like that cat, it'll be like having that cat. I can almost guarantee. I'm not saying every cat is the same. I'm just saying that a lot of cats, when he described the cat to me, he was like, oh, she likes to cuddle sometimes, and she sleeps most of the day. And I was like, that's cat. If you could get one that looked just like her, you'll feel like she there. You don't even have to clone her. That is a cat, up and down. That's everything you just described is everything I've ever known a cat to do. So, a little standoffish sometimes, likes to sleep a lot, climbs a little bit. Yep, you have a cat, sir. No need to share custody on this one. Just get an extra cat, and then that way, if you have two cats... Actually, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to reverse parent trap this thing. You get a cat that look exactly like that cat, and you put them in a room together, and then you just shake the door a little bit, and then when you open the door, you each just grab a cat, and I guarantee you, it'll be like having that cat, right? And then it's like a Schrodinger's cat, because you won't know if the cat is the cat or if the cat is your cat. And you can just enjoy life with your cat that's yours in your head or not. Who knows? No one cares. The cat won't care. I guarantee you, the cat does not care. This whole custody battle over the cat, sometimes it's at your place, sometimes it's at hell with Satan. That whole thing is nothing to the cat. The cat is like, I'm a nap regardless, right? The child, yes, that is rough, to be fair. That is very rough. You share a child with someone that you can't stand, and if anything, I think that y'all should probably really figure out your differences, because you seem to have so much anger, and from the story that you're telling me, the devil also has a lot of burning fire, anger towards you, and I don't know. I mean, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. If you really didn't care, you would know that you've fully fallen out of love with this person. But because you still have so much passion involved, you should really check in on that, because that's something that you got to be careful, because, you know, what if in all that passion, maybe y'all rekindle a little bit because you care so much. And then what if you accidentally, just in a fit of passion, y'all make another kid? That would be like the cat thing, but worse, because... the cat thing is a solution. Two kids with someone that you hate is a big problem. That's double the problem, right? And so then I guess he wasn't really trying to hear what I was saying, but I only said any of that stuff because I was like, if you tell me your whole life, I thought that you would want some notes on what was going on. I didn't think that you would tell me your whole life and then just be expecting me to. You might as well talk to yourself when you're in the car alone. If you don't expect me to respond to any of it, so then I just laid it all out for him the way that I saw it, Go ahead and let the devil share your timeshare and everything. Go ahead and get another cat. Make sure you figure out the problem so that you can raise this child in a healthy environment. And I don't know if I rubbed him the wrong way or something, but he was like, hey, we've been here. You can get out at any point. And to be fair, we had been at my destination for 15 minutes. I was just sort of in the car chopping it up with him because honestly, we got to my hotel during the timeshare portion. So the cat and the kid was just, I was trying to get my thoughts out real quick, and he was like, yeah, but I do, this is my job, and I'm trying to leave, right? And I was like, all right, but I just thought that maybe it would be helpful. I thought it would help, to let you know. And hey, you a good person and everything. You clearly an open person. You told me everything, and you don't know me at all, and you don't know who I'll tell. And so the idea that you're so trusting is both a pro and a con of being in relationships, because it's you're trusting enough to pour out your heart to a total stranger, but also sometimes that trust can either be betrayed or misused, which is what it sounds like the devil did to you according to your story and everything. And he was like, I can get your suitcase for you if you need it. Thank you for coming out on this exceptionally hot summer. This is genuinely crazy. This is this it's bad. It's bad. When you walk outside, you don't even appreciate the sunlight. You know what I mean? It's beautiful out, and you're like, oh God. This is the type of weather where you're like, Greta was right. We might be doomed. We should have been listening when she was sailing or whatever the first thing she said was. This is really bad. This is the type of weather where it's so hot you start getting weird offers. You go outside and there's just somebody standing on the corner hey, you give me $1 and I let you sit on my ice. I don't see any ice out here, sir. Trust me, there's ice. There's a bag behind you. It's also tough because I feel like it changes relationships too, it's so hot. Somebody could live so close. But the test of love is which one's leaving their apartment. You know what I mean? Some you'll live next to somebody a 15-minute walk away, but it'll be like, I could die. I can't be doing that just out willy-nilly just for you to see me. We can FaceTime, all right? I feel like even the way people are sexting must be different, You're just texting somebody, middle of the day, hey, I got that AC. Oh no, it's not a window unit, babe. We doing central over here. Come through and get chilly, baby. It's that's like weirdly still sexual, but it's all cooling related. Like, I got popsicles. If you're feeling freaky, we could both just sit in front of the open fridge door. Oh, I was in Philly last weekend, and it was so hot. It was in the 90s, and it was so hot it made me want to be like a scammer. Like I wanted to just start going to like Zillow open houses. Places I have no intention on putting an offer down on. Just to stand to the AC, be like, oh, 2.5 bath, okay. And we actually have a beautiful patio outside. No, I believe you. I can see it. I can see it through the door. I can see it. No, don't do that. Oh. Sometimes someone that you love very, very much, right? Someone you care about deeply comes to you with a problem, and this problem is something like weighing heavily on them, right? It's taking up all their mental space or anything. And you love this person, right? And they come to you and they're telling you their problem. They're trusting you with whatever it is. And while they're telling you their problem, you realize that it's boring. Don't do that. Don't be good people right now. We've all had somebody come to us, a brother, a sister, an aunt. Someone has come to us, and you, as they're telling you their problem, you're like, I don't give a shit about any of this. Like, why are they even telling me? I can't even help. What are they doing? This is ruining my Saturday. So sometimes someone that you love very, very much, deeply, comes to you with something serious to them that's a real problem, and it's boring. But somehow, overhearing a stranger's problem is always fascinating. I'll give you some examples. So a couple weeks ago, I was on the bus because life ain't going the way you think, right? And so I was on the bus, you know, the people's limousine, right? And I was on the bus, and I was holding the rail, and another guy next to me was holding the rail, but he had his phone like this, right? Like tucked into his arm. And he was just like, I don't know what to do, all right? I do not know what to do. She keep fucking dudes off Facebook Marketplace. Yes. I'm in. Tell me all. Because this man's on his phone like, I can't even trust her to go get a lamp. A couple days later, I was also on the bus because once again, life could be better, right? We'll get there, but until then, community Uber, right? And as I got on, I sat down next to this guy. Now, this guy is being louder, out loud, than my AirPods can get in my ear. So I don't even feel like I'm eavesdropping now. He offering this up to the class, okay? And so he's putting his phone down when I sat down next to him, but he was, calls somebody else. And basically, he calls this next person and tells them that the person he just got off the phone with was a woman who he had been hooking up with, who just called him to tell him that she was pregnant and she was keeping the baby, all right? And I don't know the best place, but the bus is one of the worst places to find out you're gonna be a father, all right? The bus is top 3 bad places to find out you're gonna be a daddy, okay? It goes jail, the toilet, the bus, right? And so this man is like, talking on the phone, and then he goes, yeah, it's wild because we didn't even have sex this year. And I was like, oh no. He's gonna be a father. And they kept talking and they kept talking. Now I can't hear the other person on the other side of the line or anything, but I can just hear the like I can hear that noise is happening, right? And so then they must have asked the question that was on my mind, which was, when was the last time y'all slept together? And it was like, yeah, I haven't even seen her, or like we haven't hooked up since like August of last year. And I was like, uh-oh. He's not about to be a father. Like, oh. Fellas, we got to start learning at least a little bit about women's bodies. If nothing else, so we can't get fleeced like this. Like, this is... Because this man said, without stuttering, he was like, yeah, she about 10 months along, right? I was like... oh. And then they kept talking, they realized he actually did get the math wrong, right? The math was wrong. It was 11 months. And I was like, okay, so when do I step in now as a stranger, right? Like, when do I step up and step in to help? Because I've been missed my stop. I missed my stop. I missed my stop at 10 months, right? And so I'm at least 11 minutes that way, right? And so finally, I leaned over to him. I was like, hey, bro, I couldn't help but hear. We all heard. I couldn't help but hear, and I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is you're not about to be a father. The bad news is you should maybe never be a father. You also overhear wild stuff, like the heat changes people for real. Like there are things people do in the heat that they would not do otherwise. Like I was walking my dog, and in the background, like way down the street on the corner, I heard a little kid get into a fight with the ice cream man. Because once again, I'm walking my dog, and just in the distance I hear, nigga, it's a nickel. Even my dog was curious. Like, my dog and I both turned around. And the ice cream man was like, I don't care what it is, you short, little man. And this kid looked up, I don't know how old he was, looked up at the ice cream man, head can't reach the counter, and goes, your dick is short, I want my chocolate. How did we get here? How did these two individuals come together in this moment. Because one, who is this kid? But two, what happens in your life where you become an ice cream man that's really here to nickel and dime these kids? Like, that's really here to like actually buy actual nickels and dimes. Who says to themselves, you know what, I love passing out joy, but you know who needs to be taken down a peg? These children, okay? I'm trying to figure out what type of friend I am. You know, I think I'm a good friend to a certain degree. I feel like if I discover for myself the type of friend that I am, I'll be a better version of that friend to everybody, right? Because I'll know my limits, I'll know what I'm willing to do, what I'm not, and everything. And I'm quickly realizing that I am not the advice friend. Don't come to me. Truly, don't come to me at all, because my advice to you will be directly related to how your problem affects me. I'm trying to let everybody know that now, in case, because you know, you never know. Sometimes you meet someone at the show, y'all become friends in real life, and then maybe they have a problem and they come to me, they're like, Josh, what should I do? I'm telling you right now, I am not objective. I'm not the one, right? Like, for instance, I have a lot of friends that are getting married this summer into the fall, right? So the big wedding season and everything. And so a couple of my friends have come to me, right? And you just need to know, if you're having troubles are normal, right? People get cold feet. People fight a lot leading up to a wedding. The stress, people's families sometimes don't get along. That stress. You know what I mean? Like, all of it is normal. But if you come to me, my advice to you will be directly correlated to if I already bought the gift. Because I had a friend come to me, his wedding was about, 2 weeks out. He was devastated and everything, and he was a good friend, so I had already bought his gift off the registry. It was a Vitamix 3500, so it was, yes. See, exactly, yes. 100%, yes. And so I'd already got that Vitamix, and anytime a relationship seems shaky, I look up the return policy just in case. And this particular model, they didn't carry anymore. So he comes to me, and he's upset and everything, going on, and I'm just looking at the receipt. And so finally, he looking at me to say something. I was like, dog, you love her. Like, she, your moon, your stars, all that stuff. Like, everybody cheat, okay? She gonna stop probably, like. I had a different friend come to me, and this friend, the wedding was about like 2 days, like two days out, and my man comes to me, and his problem was very specific, deeply specific. Basically, his fiance and the wedding planner had planned out the whole wedding, pretty much top to bottom. They weren't really asking him for much, but then he was offering up. He was like, is there anything that you need me to do that I can take off your plate? And she was like, no, we got it. And he was like, well, there's got to be something. Like, I want to be involved somehow. And so then she told him that basically they had everything planned down to a T, but he could pick the placemat at the reception, right? Like the little place, as long as it was in line with the color theme, he could pick that. And so then my buddy poured over for like several days all these like little different, you couldn't even tell the difference between them, all these different placemats and stuff, and was like trying to make a good decision on the right one and everything. And he finally picked one, and basically it seems like maybe she didn't like it because she had the wedding planner change it last minute. And then they didn't really talk about it. So his feelings were kind of hurt because he was like, oh, that was my one thing. And I took some real pride in doing it. And she didn't say anything to me. And it was a destination wedding and I hadn't bought my ticket yet. I hadn't bought my ticket and I hadn't got a gift yet. And so he was telling me about it and I was like, I wouldn't take that if I was you, dog. Like, for real. Sometimes you gotta put your foot down, all right? I've been watching some of the, older people in my life and everything, and it's crazy. My friend, his grandparents were together until his granddad passed away, and his granddad probably passed away at like 85 or something like that. But him and his grandmother got married young, so they were together for like 62 years or something like that. It was crazy, and people always want to know the sort of secrets to staying together and like having that sort of relationship, that bond. And he said that his grandma basically summed it all up very quickly. She was like, if you want to be with somebody for the rest of your life, you have to know and accept that the first year is lust, the next 10 years are love, and everything else after that is spite. And she said spite without missing a beat. Like she's like, that's a secret ingredient. Like every day you wake up and you're like, we go to war. And basically, she tells this story about how the night that his grandpa passed away, they had this routine where his granddad pretty much wouldn't even sleep in the bed anymore. He would sleep in his chair that could recline like his lazy boy, and then he would be falling asleep watching TV or something like that. But on that night, he went to bed with his grandma and he passed away in his sleep, which is how a lot of people want to go. It's very peaceful, next to somebody you love. And then he wasn't there, but his mom was. And his mom said that when she woke up, she was getting ready and like making breakfast and stuff. And she heard his grandma from the room. And what she heard wasn't like some blood curdling scream or some like cry out or anything. She said she just heard, "Oh!" What? Ooh. And she apparently even said at the funeral that, so many people were coming up to her and telling her how sweet it was that he went to make sure he was laying in bed with her the night that he passed instead of like in his chair or something. And she was like, ain't nothing sweet about it. He did that on purpose. He knew. No, he knew he was gonna die that night. And he wanted to put his cold ass feet on me one more time. Because they were cold when he was living, but then they were cold, right? And at a certain point you get used to the cold, and then you turn around and he all just laying up there like. And I told him take out that trash, and he didn't do it. This is very embarrassing to admit, but when I was a kid, all the way up until like young adulthood, I thought that I could see the future. And then I realized I just had common sense. Yeah, I mean, like I'll give you my best example. I had a friend from Chicago call me, and he told me he got his girlfriend pregnant by accident. And I was like, oh, dude, I knew you were going to do that 3 years ago. And he was like, how? How is that possible? I've only known her for a year. And I was like, oh, bro, I knew you were going to do that when I saw you walking around with no case on your phone. Like, I knew you weren't thinking ahead. You weren't taking precautions. You were living reckless, you know? You don't have a case on your phone. Of course you're not wrapping it up. Come on, just walking around loose phone all day.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell a friend. That would be a huge help if you tell people about it. Sharing is great. There's like a share button, but if you tell people, they might click on it.